Gandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ensuring the well-being of our people is always our top priority. As the chairperson of the Committee on Health, I am one with the whole nation in envisioning the best healthcare service for every Filipino. Yun pong pinaka-importante ngayon ang health, no? Kalusugan. Dahil katumbas po yan ng buhay ng bawat Pilipino. Ang kalusugan ay hindi dapat maging pribilehiyo lamang ng iilan. Dapat nating siguraduhin na ang bawat Pilipino, lalong-lalo na po yung mga mahirap at walang kakayahang magbayad, ay may access sa serbisyong pangkalusugan. Health is a basic right, not a privilege for only a few. According to the WTW Global Medical Trends Survey, medical costs in the Philippines are projected to rise by 18.3% in 2025, marking the second highest increase in the Asia-Pacific region. This sharp increase underscores growing challenges in our healthcare sector and the need to expand healthcare access for Filipinos. Filipinos should not just rely on out-of-pocket expenses, which puts an additional strain on their livelihood. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Katulad po ng maraming gastusin sa ating bansa, inaasahan po ang tataas na naman ngayong taon ang gastusing medical tulad ng pagpapa-hospital, mga gamot, at iba pang serbisyo. Ibig sabihin, lalo pang mabubutas ang bulsa ng Pilipino dahil malaking bahagi ng medical cost dito sa Pilipinas ay out of pocket na dinudukot sa sariling bulsa po ng mamamayan. Bilang isang Pilipino, tayo po'y membro ng PhilHealth. Lahat tayo ay entitled sa benepisyo mula sa PhilHealth. Nasa 500 billion pesos o higit pa ang pondo ng PhilHealth o yung sinasabing reserve fund. Kaya ang tanong, bakit hindi ito nararamdaman ng mga Pilipino, lalong-lalo na po yung mga mahirap, kukonti pa rin po ang counterpart mula sa PhilHealth. At bakit po less than 10% lang po sa ngayon ang enrolled sa e-konsulta ng PhilHealth. Marami pang Pilipino hindi nila alam na miyembro sila ng PhilHealth at saan sila magpapakonsulta. I just want to cite a reported case of a man in Rosario, Cavite who was found lifeless on the side of the road after leaving a nearby clinic without being examined. Ang pondo po ng PhilHealth, hindi dapat mangyayari na ang isang Pilipino ay mawala ng buhay dahil hindi niya nakuha ang kinakailangang atensyong medical. Gusto ko lang pong yung mga nababalitaan po natin na past few days, isa lang po ito sa mga kaso, no? Dahil sa
Wala ng
kahirapan,
buhay ng
buntis na nanganak na namatay sa bangketa dahil ay magpunta sa ospital dahil takot po siyang gumastos. Po yan sa mga halimbawa na nangyari na ayaw magpa-hospital dahil takot sa babayarin sa ospital. Sa committee na ito, sisiguraduhin natin na maayos at malinaw ang plano ng PhilHealth para sa pondo nila. Hindi po tayo papayag na Pilipino po ang magiging kawawa. Ang PhilHealth po ay hindi po yan negosyo na dapat mag-ipon ng pondo. Ito ay medical insurance para sa lahat upang may masasandalan tayo kapag tayo ay nagkasakit. Kaya naman po, tinawag nga po itong PhilHealth para po sa health. Kaya dapat gamitin ang kanilang pondo para mapakinabangan po ng taong bayan. Alam nyo, galit ang Pilipino dahil sa kaltas sa sahod natin sa kontribusyon na nakukolekta ng PhilHealth. Kaya dapat po suklian ng mas maayos na serbisyo na sapat na benepisyo ang nagkakasakit. Sa sobrang liit po ng counterpart ng PhilHealth sa ngayon, talagang karamihan po ay takot magpa-hospital. Sweldo natin ito kinakaltas po ito sa ating sahod. Pinaghirapan natin ito. Pinagpawisan natin sa ating sweldo. Dapat po mapakinabangan natin ito at may masasandalan tayo tuwing tayo ay nagkakasakit at hindi tayo matakot magpa-hospital. Kung ginamit lang po sana ang pondo ng PhilHealth sa tama, hindi tayo aabot sa puntong ito. Ang dapat gawin ng PhilHealth ay siguraduhin na ang pondo ay talagang napapakinabangan ng taong bayan. Malinaw naman po ang hamon natin sa PhilHealth. Gamitin po ang pondo ng maayos, pabilisin po ang implementasyon ng mas malawak na benepisyo at siguraduhin mararamdaman po ito ng bawat Pilipino ang inyong serbisyo. Hindi sapat ang plano o pangako, dapat po may resulta. Mamaya tatanungin ko po kayo kung kaya nyo pong aprubahan nga po sa isang araw nung Disyembre sa inyong board meeting, itong pagtataas ng case rates, pag-expand ng benefit packages, bakit po hindi nyo ginawa ito nung umpisa ng taon, Enero? Sana wala kayong excess funds na wawalisin ng National Treasury. Wala kayong excess funds, nataasan nyo pa yung case rates ninyo na sinasabi ninyong 9,000 case rates, kaya nahirapan kayong i-review. Bakit nakayanan nyo sa isang araw sa inyong board meeting na aprubahan po ang pagtataas ng case rates? Kaya naman pala kung gugustuhin. At kaya ng parati nating kasabihan, kung gustuhin talaga, may paraan. Kung ayaw, may dahilan. Sulit po ang ating pakikipaglaban dito sa committee. Sulit po ang ating pangungulit. Kasama po ang ibang health advocates dahil kahit papano ay ginagawa na po ng aksyon ng PhilHealth ang mga hinaing na isawalat natin sa susunod-sunod nating committee hearings na ating pinamunuan. Sa maalala ko, pang 12 na po nating health hearing po ito. Kasama na po yung health emergency allowances. About PhilHealth, pang-6 na po ito. We got PhilHealth to commit in writing the implementation of the following. Ito po yung pinirmahan ninyo, pinangako ninyo. A substantial increase in the benefit packages for the top 10 mortality diseases. Increase in case rates by up to 50% across the board. Expansion of benefit packages such as dental benefits, outpatient drug benefits, mental health benefit, optometric services sa mata, and scrapping of anti-poor policies such as the 24-hour confinement rule, which prevents the coverage of emergency outpatient services for patients not needing facility admission, among others. Salamat, tinanggal niyo yung single period of confinement policy kung saan po'y bawal magpa-admit sa the same sakit. Halimbawa, pneumonia, within 90 days, bawal daw. Nung unang polisiya ninyo, 2013 policy nyo po ito, tinanggal nyo last September 30. Salamat po. At ito pang 24-hour confinement policy na kailangan magpa-admit ng 24 hours bago nyo i-cover. Sabi nyo, meron na kayo inintroduce na mga bagong emergency packages para matanggal na po itong 24-hour confinement rule ninyo. Salamat po. Ang iba pang mga programang ito ay matagal nang ipinapatupad ng PhilHealth, kaya naman po hindi ko maiwasang isipin kung hindi po natin naungkat ang mga ito dito sa hearings, may balak ba kayong ayusin ang mga sablay na policies na ito, itong mga 2013 policies ninyo na single period of confinement policy? Kailangan pa ba tayo mag-hearing bago nyo i-review ito? Just recently, PhilHealth launched a new benefit package for heart attacks. The package is expected to cover expenses for essential services, including emergency care, diagnostic tests, and specialized treatments for heart attack patients. PhilHealth will also implement expanded packages for heart treatments such as critical procedures for clearing blocked arteries, which have been raised from 30,300 to 523,000, a dramatic 1,629% increase. This targets one of the leading causes of mortality in the country, which is why we commend PhilHealth for this development. Malaking tulong po ito. Ilang buhay po masasalbar dito. Mas mapapahaba pa natin ang buhay ng mga kababayan natin may sakit sa puso. PhilHealth also announced increased benefits for other medical services, including kidney transplants. The enhanced benefits include an increase in kidney transplant coverage from 600,000 to 2 million. This would be a huge help in addressing the financial challenges faced by patients with chronic kidney disease. At least mabibigyan natin ng pag-asa yung mga nagdi-dialysis at kailangan po ng kidney transplant. PhilHealth also introduced its outpatient emergency care benefit, providing broader coverage for emergency services. Ito yung pinangako ninyo na isasama nyo na po. Ibig sabihin, hindi na kailangan magpa-admit ng 24 hours bago nila i-cover. Case rate adjustments up to 50% have also been made to nearly 9,000 benefit packages. Ito yung sinasabi ko noon na sabi nyo pag-aaralan nyo po, it would take time, no? Kasi 9,000 case rates nga po ito. Kaya naman pala. While we laud these developments, I call on PhilHealth to strictly and transparently implement its programs. Tingnan nyo rin po yung mga dapat nyong baguhin, matatagal na ninyong mga programa na mas mapalawak nyo po. Dapat masiguro na may malinaw na sistema para malaman ng bawat miyembro kung ano na ho ba ang mga benepisyo nilang makukuha. Hindi dapat mangamba ang isang Pilipino sa pagpunta sa ospital. Hindi dapat matakot sa pagpapa-ospital dahil sa babayarin sa hospital once admitted po. Bigyan natin sila ng peace of mind and security ang ating mga kababayan na merong gobyerno na tutulong po sa kanila. Yan naman sana ang trabaho ng PhilHealth. These commitments being implemented by PhilHealth are part of our efforts to make sure that Filipinos get the health benefits they deserve. While we welcome these actions, we will not stop in our crusade in ensuring that they will deliver on their promises to protect the lives of Filipinos. Kung kailangan po, linggo-linggo tayong mag-hearing dito at ako pong mag-a-adjust sa oras ninyo, ay gagawin ko po yan. Despite the non-provision of budget subsidy to PhilHealth this year, which we objected on, ayaw ko talaga na ma-zero kayo. Nag-oppose talaga ako dito at hindi nga po ako pumirma sa BICAM report. We call on PhilHealth to maximize their available unutilized excess funds. Kahit zero kayo sa subsidy mula sa gobyerno, gamitin nyo po yung tinatawag ninyong reserve funds or excess funds ninyo to deliver on these commitments to benefit every Filipino who is a member of PhilHealth. Alam niyo, marami, kindly explain po sa publiko, marami akong kakilala at kausap. Nangangamba, sir, paano na lang sa retirement namin? May asahan ba kami sa PhilHealth? Pag nagkasakit kami, matutulungan ba kami ng PhilHealth? Sabi ko sa kanila, pabantayan po natin itong PhilHealth sa inyong mga pinangako. After all, PhilHealth funds must be used for health. Kaya nga po, PhilHealth. In this hearing, we will also discuss the updates on the payment of health emergency allowances to our healthcare workers. As promised, this committee will continue to be an avenue for our healthcare workers to air and address their concerns. Salamat, no? At finally, last year, na-release na po, last July, ang 27 billion mula sa DBM to DOH and to our healthcare workers, yung 27 billion. Ngayon, tatanungin na lang po natin kung nabayaran na ba lahat. Kasi marami pa rin sumisigaw ng heya kahit saan ako pumunta. Baka along the way pala yung nasa proseso pa lang po sila ng pagbabayad. So antayin lang po natin. Importante rito yung assurance na 27 billion ay na-release na po at mababayaran po yung services rendered dahil pinagpawisan at pinaghirapan po yan ng ating mga health workers. Lastly, we will seek updates on the status of the strengthening of our healthcare facilities which are essential in bringing medical services closer to the people. Naniniwala po ako that health is wealth at katumbas po ng buhay, katumbas po ng kalusugan ay buhay po ng bawat Pilipino. Sa PhilHealth naman po, gusto lang natin marinig ang inyong updates sa inyong ginawang reforma. Ano na ho bang plano ninyo sa 2025? At meron bang aasahan ng ating mga kababayan na tulong mula sa inyo at hindi ba kayo apektado with the zero subsidy from the national government? At yung commitment ninyo na expand yung benefit packages, increase case rates, at yung inyong, sana tumaas yung inyong enrollees at ng e-consulta program dahil lahat naman po ng Pilipino ay membro po ng e-consulta. May mga pasilidad naman po ang DOH, andyan yung mga super health centers, mga hospitals na pwede ninyong gamitin para sa inyong e-consulta program. And then lastly, kumusta na rin po yung how about yung mga due ninyo sa mga hospitals para naman po makapag ano rin sila, makapag-serbisyo rin po ang ating mga hospitals na hindi po may pang ikot sila dahil importante rito tuloy-tuloy po ang serbisyo ng ating mga hospitals. Salamat, no? Gusto nating unang marinig mula sa ating PhilHealth ang inyong update. Kumusta na ho inyong plano ngayong taong ito at inyong sa transfer of funds, nagamit na ho ba itong magkano ho bang na-transfer totally for 2024 at yung naiwan, ginamit nyo na ho ba at ano na yung plano ninyo? Papakinggan ho namin kayo rito.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Can I go ahead, Mr. Chair, with my opening statement?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead po, Mr. Ledesma.
Also, Mr. Chair, I'd want to apologize for arriving late today. We know how valuable your time is, no? We're usually prompt at PhilHealth, no? So, pasensya na po.
No problem po. I'm willing to adjust basta pumunta lang kayo rito at marinig kayo ng taong bayan.
And then, Mr. Chair, you mentioned earlier that you will not stop and you will continue to have hearings and to make us bantay. We value that very much, Mr. Chair. And I'd also like to take this opportunity, well, to greet you a Happy New Year. And in behalf of PhilHealth, we'd want to express our utmost gratitude to you, Mr. Chair, for all your support, comments, inputs, guidance to PhilHealth, no? Malaking bagay po sa amin yan. In fact po, yung passion nyo for healthcare has rubbed off on us officers at PhilHealth, no? Kaya talagang very masipag kami, hardworking. Thanks to you, Mr. Chair, no? Sana tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa 2025, Mr. Chair.
Salamat. Yan naman po ang wish ko sa Pilipino. Happy, healthy New Year po sa ating lahat. Hirap pong magkasakit. Sabi ko sana magbigyan tayo ng Panginoon ng magandang kalusugan ngayong taong ito. With the help of PhilHealth, kung sino man po yung magkasakit, wag naman sana, ay meron silang masasandalan at hindi ho sila matakot sa kanilang hospital. So gusto natin marinig ano na ho bang mga reformang ginawa ninyo sa umpisa ng taon at kumusta na ho yung inyong mga pinangako sa taong bayan. May commitment letter po kayo na pinirmahan. Kumusta na po ang inyong implementation at plano po sa ngayong taon ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I will share with you that we have maintained and kept all of our promises, Mr. Chair, and more. And also, just want to mention, Mr. Chair, to this honorable committee, to your good self, that PhilHealth will be celebrating our 30th anniversary this coming February 14. So in line with that, Mr. Chair, we have so much plans for the Filipino people, no? Not just with the benefit packages, with our digitalization. We have so many plans and we are hoping and asking for your full support so that we can all of these plans can be fulfilled and can be realized, Mr. Chair, no?
With the zero subsidy from the national government, kindly explain po kung ano na ang plano ninyo sa taong ito at kumusta na po, paano nyo po ito mapapatupad at paano kayo with a working budget, no, based on your excess funds or reserve fund. Kindly start with your presentation, Mr. Ledesma.
We'll start, Mr. Chair. Again, Honorable Chairperson, Senator Go, distinguished members of the Senate Committee on Health and Demography, pleasant good morning. Last year, 2024, was uniquely challenging for the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. First, the corporation received orders for the return of a considerable portion of its funds, which is precisely the subject of this legislative investigation. By the way, Mr. Chair, we returned a total of 60 billion, no? And the last tranche, as you know, no, na TRO po ng Supreme Court. So that's the 29.9 billion still with us, no? Then, as the esteemed committee members are aware, PhilHealth received a zero allocation for 2025, zero subsidy in our appropriations law. These developments have understandably caused our members concerns about the implications on their healthcare benefits and the institution's overall stability. Thus, we are thankful again for the end time to this honorable committee, Honorable Senator Go, for giving us this opportunity to address our members' apprehensions about what these all mean for their healthcare. At the outset, we declare categorically that PhilHealth is currently in good financial standing, and our commitment to universal health coverage is as steadfast as ever. PhilHealth operates with funding drawn from various sources, including member contributions, government subsidies, and other revenues. Our reserve funds are currently adequate as our investments paid off, and we were prudent, extremely prudent in financial management. On the other hand, the funds for transfer to the National Treasury has been identified by the Department of Finance as exceeding what was required for benefit payouts last year. These two conditions, one, the lack of budget allocation, as well as the fund transfer ordered by the DOF, certainly require careful resource management by PhilHealth. However, our members can be rest assured that their national health insurer currently enjoys a strong financial position, so it is fully capable of meeting all obligations without disruption. To our members, you remain entitled to your benefits despite these mentioned developments. All programs, ranging from the Consulta to the enhanced Z benefit packages, are being implemented as usual. No benefit packages will be taken away or diminished this year. PhilHealth only has new benefit packages for you and has further enhanced existing ones. To begin with, we closed out 2024 with a 50% increase in our all case rates packages. In total then, the effective rate of increase implemented last year for the all case rates was 95%. In other words, PhilHealth today provides almost double the amount of financial protection against healthcare costs compared to the beginning of last year. Mr. Chair, kaya po 95% yan, kasi last February 14, we increased it by 30%, and then a few weeks ago, we increased it by 50%. So compounded po yan, so yung 80% actually translates to 95%, Mr. Chair. Also, Mr. Chair, I just want to mention later if you want a full description on how we go about increasing or enhancing our benefit packages. Kasama po namin, Mr. Chair, ang head ng Health Finance Policy Sector namin, si Dr. Ish Pargas, and he can walk you through how the system works, no, when we get this approved by the board, no. On top of these increases in our all case rates, Mr. Chair, we also expanded and enhanced another 5 benefit packages before the year ended. We are especially pleased to have implemented increases in the coverage of those illnesses that we have identified as among those medical conditions that are the leading causes of mortality and for which we spend the most in healthcare. Accordingly, we increased the breast cancer package by 1,300%, and the hemodialysis package was increased by 144%. Also, the packages for heart attack and stroke, ischemic heart disease, acute myocardial infarction were significantly increased. We also enhanced the Z benefit packages for peritoneal dialysis and kidney transplantation. The Z benefit package for kidney transplantation now covers procedures with both living and deceased organ donor transplantation up to over 1 million and 2.15 million respectively. Additionally, Mr. Chair, we developed the Z Miracles package for 10 rare diseases, which significantly increased coverage for rare conditions like maple syrup urine disease, Fabry disease, and osteogenesis imperfecta. We now also cover outpatient emergency care for more comprehensive financial protection against the unexpected. For life-threatening medical emergencies not requiring hospitalization beyond 24 hours, our members can count on PhilHealth. We also rationalized the benefit package for cataract extraction that should benefit both our senior citizens and pediatric cases. The inpatient COVID-19 benefit package was also rationalized, while the severe dengue package was increased by 194% from 16,700 to 47,000 pesos. Even as I speak, the enhancements of our benefit packages continue. Our circular for optometric services for 0 to 15-year-olds has been finalized for publication just early this morning, and it will be effective immediately upon publication. Lastly, preventive oral health services are now provided as a primary care service. Dental health services within reach of all our members including prophylaxis and sealings. As I hope to have demonstrated with this brief report, we wish our members to have every assurance that they can rely on PhilHealth to continue fulfilling its mandate as the national health insurer. We are capable of settling all obligations that might arise from benefit claims this year, taking into account the enhancements and new packages we had just introduced. We would not have implemented this expansion of the National Health Insurance Program under my leadership had we not been in a financial position to do so effectively. PhilHealth's current situation calls for decisive action to optimize PhilHealth's resources. This year, then, we intend to intensify efforts to improve efficiency and reduce administrative costs even more, to ensure that absolutely every peso is used to maximize health outcomes for our members. Honorable members of the committee, Mr. Chair, we view this as a pivotal moment, not just for PhilHealth as an institution, but for the broader goal of universal health coverage. PhilHealth is facing a lot of challenges this year, but they are not insurmountable. For my part, as President and CEO, I can guarantee that every PhilHealth resource will be dedicated absolutely to keeping PhilHealth as the reliable vanguard of the Filipinos' right to quality healthcare. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, once more, for this opportunity to address the body and all our members. I look forward to your guidance on PhilHealth's way forward. Maraming salamat po. Happy New Year, Senator Go.
Salamat po. Can you just